Hi ladies, how are you? Have a good evening. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you. Nice to see you. תודה רבה. We're doing פרשת משפטים. And פרשת משפטים is loaded with mitzvot. mitzvot שבין אדם לחברו, between us and other people. And the big question is, why, right after giving the Torah, we got this type of mitzvot? You know, you get the Torah. You want to know the details. First, bring me the big stuff, you know, Shabbat, Brit Milah, I don't know, mitzvot, important mitzvot, and then go to details. What happens if you have a maid at home? What happens if you give a loan? What happens if you, if there's somebody that needs this or that? Right? So first, bring me the big mitzvot. No, we start with Ben Adam L'Chavero. And I would like to start with a story. And this show is going to be full of stories. So it's Baruch Hashem, we have a lot of nice acts of kindness in the community in Am Yisrael, and that's beautiful to see. So about 50 years ago, lived in Israel a very noble doctor, Dr. Nahum Cook, was his name. And he was a general practitioner. His clinic was in his own apartment. So people who wanted to come, patients would come and wait in his own apartment. He had a waiting area, a waiting room, and then he had his own room where he would come and invite people inside and check them. So people would wait online, and then he would call people. Except he had one exceptional when Harav Yecheskel Sarnei would come, he would let him go in without waiting online because he respected him very much. He was very a big Talmid Chacham, so he always would let him go without waiting online. Yeah. One time Harav Yecheskel Sarnei came, and when the doctor opened his room to accept another patient, so as usual, when Harav saw that he opened his room, he would accept him first, so he rose and to go into his room. And the doctor said, wait, rabbis, please forgive me. Wait, I have to accept this woman first, this elder woman that came before you. I have to get her first. So he treated her first, and then after a few minutes, this woman left. So the rabbi went inside, and he asked him, what happened today, then other days? He said, I'm so sorry and I apologize again. But this woman, she's a poor woman. And she always comes to me and I treat her for free. I never take money from her. If she was waiting there, and if she would see that I prefer you than her, she would feel offended that, she's secondary, she's not important, she's inferior because she doesn't pay. And I prefer you than her, and I didn't want this to happen. So I again asked for apology. I didn't mean to. I just wanted her to have her dignity, to feel good. And this is very, very fine midot that we saw by that doctor, right? And this is what we're talking about in Parashat Mishpatim. We're talking about laws of Ben Adam L'Chavero. And again, why are we starting with this type of laws? Once Harav Elchanan Wasserman, Hashem Yikom Damo, he died in the Holocaust. The Nazis killed him. So Harav Elchanan Wasserman, he was teaching his students, two of his students, they were sitting and learning together Torah. A woman came in, a poor woman, that cried to him. She said, Rabbi, please help me. He said, how can I help you? Please pray for my son. He is not feeling well. He has such a this and this disease, and I wanted to pray for him. The rabbi, he would answer it to anyone that would come to him to ask for this kind of request. He said, I'm not a righteous man. Go to righteous men to pray for you. I'm not this type of a person. And that's what he told her too. And what she told me, this lady, she told him, Rabbi, I don't understand. When people have a certain problem, I know people that would go, let's say, to their father's grave, to their mother's grave. They would pray, they would ask, they would plead, they would cry, and then salvation would come. Hashem would happen somehow. My father is still alive. My mother is still alive. I have no one to turn to. I don't know where to go. Who's going to help me? The students saw, and they started giggling. They started to giggle, once they heard this woman. The rabbi stood quickly. He kind of covered them, wanted her not to see them, and said, of course, I'm going to bless you. And he started to bless her and bless her and bless her. And then she thanked him very much, and she left. When she left, he turned to them and he said, I don't understand. How are you laughing? How are you giggling at a woman that has so much problems? Her son is sick. They said, no, we didn't laugh at her because of her son. We laughed at her stupidity. What exactly she thought when she said that? He said, no, nevertheless, you're not supposed to make fun of a woman that her son is sick and she needs salvation. She needs a problem. You have to be careful whenever you talking or in touch with other people, so other people won't feel that they're not appreciated, that they're not important, or that they're God forbid stupid or not smart, and so on. So this is what Judaism is all about. Judaism is about combining Torah, מצוות שבין אדם למקום and מצוות שבין אדם לחברו. So we got two tablets, right? In the first tablet, it says מצוות שבין אדם למקום. The second tablet, מצוות שבין אדם לחברו. And only the combination of both is when we really doing our Avodat Hashem, when we really, getting close and understand what Hashem wants from us. So this is the reason that Hashem asked us right after giving the Torah on Har Sinai. He told us how to treat other people. Don't, let's say, be harsh on a widow woman or orphan children. When you see somebody that needs help, come and help him. It says, Azov ta'azovim. If you see your somebody that you hate, you see her car is stuck, okay? You have to help her instead of helping first, your friend. Why these laws? Where are they coming from? So again, I'll give you another example. Harav Rodelman, he was the Rosh Yeshiva of Baltimore. When he was younger, he had some kind of a question back in Europe, and he went to this Rav Leib Vilkomir. He went to him to ask him a question. The rabbi was debating, and they were hesitating if to answer him, how to answer him, what to answer him, and they couldn't have a clear answer at that moment. So meanwhile, he went home, Rav Ruderman went home, and he went to sleep. Early in the morning, he woke up, and he was shocked to see the rabbi in his own bedroom. The rabbi that he just went yesterday to ask him a question. So he washed his hands and said Modani and asked the rabbi, Rabbi, what are you doing here? He said, I came to answer your question. He said, yeah, but how long are you standing here and why did you wake me up? He said, I had an answer already last night. And I figured, first thing in the morning, I'll come to you and I'll talk to you and I'll explain you. But to wake you up, why should I wake you up? It's a Gezer Shana. It's like, I'm not supposed to do that. So again, this nice fine midot that we see by people, that the Torah teaches us how to behave, what to do, what's right, what's wrong. So the Torah is starting in Parashat Mishpatim with Eved Ivri. When somebody has a slave, okay? How to treat a Eved Ivri. Why are you starting with Eved Ivri? And what is this? Once somebody came to Asaba Mikel, of Simcha Zissel Mikel, and asked him, he came with a complaint to him. He said, Rabbi, I don't understand. Today there is no slavery anymore. Why is the Torah so old-fashioned, talking to us about how to treat a slave? We don't have slaves today, Baruch Hashem, anymore. not in America, not in Africa, hopefully, not in Europe, and not in Russia. What is this? So Asaba Mikel explained him something interesting, which is true. See, he says, what's the difference between our Torah, the laws of the Torah, and the justice that there is in the world, okay, among Gentiles. Let's say in the cultural world that there's no slavery there, yeah? Let's say somebody stole money, or he stole some goods, or he stole jewelry. How is it treated? So first of all, they find him, they capture him, they put him in jail, and then they make a sentence to him, and then usually, if somebody saw him or there's any evidence that he stole, so they punish him. They punish him severely. He has to go to jail, and once he's in jail. What happens? When he maybe stole something that was, I don't know, $100, let's say. But in the jail, he meets the sharks, the most important, the most sophisticated criminals. And over there, they teach him already the secrets of the job. How to do, what to do, how to plan it ahead, how to make sure you're not caught, how to do this. They sit and then they plan, even in jail already, they plan how to do the next theft, how to do it in a smart way, not to be caught. So what do we gain exactly when we send somebody to jail? He made a mistake. It could be that it's the first mistake, and hopefully maybe also the last mistake that the person did. But now he's there. He's learning better techniques, how to steal, in a more sophisticated way. And we don't gain anything by the fact that we send the person over there. What happens in the Torah? In the Torah, it's something else. Let's say somebody stole because he didn't have the money to feed his family. Okay? He did it not because he wanted, but he stole the money. So the Torah doesn't believe in a punishment that's called jail. The Torah says we want to educate the person how to become responsible, how to come back to the right path, okay? So first of all, we want to take care of him. He's going to, if he has the money, he has to pay the full amount, okay? Whatever he stole. But if he doesn't have the money, he kind of rents himself or rents his services to a master, okay? He's going to accept him in his house, and he's going to take care of him. Now see what's supposed to be the attitude to every divrei, to somebody that stole, couldn't and now he needs to pay, his dues but by the way that he's going to serve this person, this master, then he will be able to pay either the one that he's going to pay to the one that he stole from, okay? It says that if, let's say, there's breakfast, and now there's fresh bread that they bought in the store, and there's some old bread from yesterday or the day before yesterday. The master is not allowed to eat from the fresh bread and leave the slave the old bread. No, he needs to give him the best quality of food, the best quality of clothing, the best quality of bedding that he has at home, right? If there's only 2 pillows in the house, okay, or if there's only 1 pillow in the house, the master cannot take it. He has to give it to the slave. Hello, where did you see this type of laws? In which type of book you see this kind of laws? And why is that? Why, if I have only 1 coat, I cannot keep it to myself? I have to give it to the maid that comes to my house. Now, don't forget that this person was a thief. When you're looking for a cleaning lady, okay? Who are you looking for? Somebody that already put stuff in a pocket? No, you're looking for somebody that you could trust. You look for somebody that you know that her eyes is not that, you know, she's not looking for how to benefit or how to outsmart or see what the Torah is asking from us. You bring this person over, even though you know that he stole, and now how you treat him. You have to treat him with the best, utmost respect. He needs to feel so appreciated. He needs to feel so good. Why? Why all this? Why we have to work on ourselves so much? You know, let him pay. He made a crime. Let him pay. You know, for whatever he did. Why do we have, in a way, to suffer for the fact that this person made a crime? So see how the Torah looks at it. I'll continue on. Now, the Torah also obligates the master to pay, okay? I cannot call it alimony, but for the expenses of his wife and his children that are left home. So, you know, yes, you're going to provide this slave that's in your house the best of all, whatever you have at home, but you also have to support his family. You see what is Eved Ivri? He's supposed to support also his family. So, once this person is leaving, after he pays, after 6 years, he needs to come out. He goes free. After 6 years, okay, he goes home. Yeah, he comes out a different person. He was appreciated. He was cared for. Okay, he felt like he was even better than his master. Now he got the tools. He saw how supposed to be functioning a normal family. What's supposed to be a relationship between husband and wife, a father and children. You know, what society they are in, which company, who are their friends. And now he will be able, he has the tools now to build his own family. That's what the Torah wants from us. The Torah doesn't want this thief to go to this jail and to rot there, or to learn, you know, and to be more, a criminal, a bigger criminal. So the rabbi say, "Hakone eved la'atzmo, kone adon la'atzmo." It's not that you buy yourself a slave to serve you; you have to serve him. And all this is to teach us how it's supposed to be a normal society to function. Okay, so okay, and so on, and we continue saying that also in every jail, usually they try to degrade, you know, to humiliate the prisoners, because they need to break their spirits. That's their job. No, psychologically, that's what they do all the time. They always have fights there, which cliques they are, who's more stronger than the others. They have to, and so we avoid this, and we really want to show this person that is equal, that is worthy, that is capable, that he will be able to build his own house all from the beginning. He starts new life now. He can start all from the beginning. Okay, and this is what we're talking about. If he felt too good in his master's house, and after 6 years he tells his master, "No, I feel comfortable here. I'm good here. I don't want to go. Why not? I get treated so beautifully." This is when the master needs to pierce his ear, kind of put a mark on his body, and tell him, "You're a slave. I gave you so much, and I don't want you to feel like a slave. But you decide that you want to be slave, so now you have a mark on your body." Because Ozen Sheshama, ear that heard on Har Sinai, Ki libnei Israel avadim, that we're slaves only to Hashem, okay? And you don't accept it, and you don't understand it. Now you really stay in our houses, in my house, and he's going to work there till the Yovel. Yovel after, you know, then he has to go free. Everyone has to go free afterwards. So, because Jewish people don't have to be slaves. Jewish people worked more than enough in Mitzrayim, and now they're free. They're free for what? To worship Hashem. Okay? So, Rav Zaid, he's a Rav in Pardes Katz next to Bnei Brak. Once was invited to a bar mitzvah, and it was a cold winter night, and he was thinking to himself, should I go, should I go, maybe I stay home with a cup of tea and relax. Who needs to go to this stormy weather outside? But then he was thinking to himself, and he said, but what does Hashem want from me right now? I'm sure Hashem wants me to make, this woman that invited me for a bar mitzvah officer, to make her happy. So he dressed up and he decided that he would go. He took the bus or he took the car, I don't know. By the time he got to the house, he was all wet and soaked because it was pouring rain outside. What can you do? He got into the bar mitzvah hall, and the woman was so grateful. She praised him and she thanked him so much that he came to congratulate them and be with them. And then she introduced him her 4 friends that came to the bar mitzvah from the north of Israel, from Katzrin. Katzrin it's like, 3 or 3.5 hours ride from the center of Israel where she made the bar mitzvah, in this stormy weather for sure. And she told the rabbi, I worked with them 10 years ago, and I sent the invitation, and these women, they were considerating me, and they wanted to make me happy, and they came all the way from Katzrin. Please, Rabbi, can you bless them? The rabbi said, Kol hakavod, you came all the way, I'm so happy. So one of the ladies told him, Rabbi, I want to tell you something. We had to fill up the gas because it's a long ride. So they filled up the gas, let's say 200 shekel. Today, how much it would be? I don't know, 50 something dollars. And so we decided that we all were going to chip in, and every one of us will pay, I don't know, $13, $14, $15, whatever it is, all of us together. So the lady in the cashier told us, there's a mitzvah, there's a sale. If you're going to buy 200 shekel gas, you're going to get this lottery ticket that you scratch and you can get some money. We got 10,000 shekel. Mm-hmm. It's like, we came to make this woman happy, and now every one of us goes home with, I don't know, $700 or something dollars, because we just wanted to make her happy. So see how Hashem appreciates the fact that you think about the other, you make the other one happy. It says, Chazal said that when Hashem gave the Torah to Am Yisrael, so I told you there's 2 tablets, right? So Hashem started with Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I'm your God that took you out of Egypt. And then Lo yeh lecha elokim acherim bepanai, you shouldn't have other gods. And so the nation thought, Hashem gives this Torah for his own honors, what is he talking just about, make me your God and you should worship only me. But then when they heard lo tignov, lo tin'af, lo tirtzach, they heard all the other laws between us and others, then they understood that the whole idea of these laws is to benefit us, is to benefit the people, and it's for our own good. So I told you, there's a gathering of mitzvot in this parasha. One of the mitzvot that it says here is not to mistreat a widow woman. Yeah, Rav Shach. Once he used to escort his uncle. His uncle was Rav Isser Zalman Meltzer, Zatzal. And he used to walk with him until he got home. And then he would walk upstairs to his own apartment. Once he did that, and then the rabbi went already up. After a few seconds, he came down. He was waiting a few minutes, and then he went up. And again, after a few seconds, came down. Rav Shach didn't understand what's happening. When it happens the 3rd time, he told him, something, let's learn, maybe we can discuss certain thing in Torah or something. Rav Shach asked, what happened? He said, I went up. My wife, she has this woman that she's a widow, and she wanted her to have some income, so she hired her as a cleaning lady, as a maid in the house. And this lady, I wanted to get into the house. I hear behind the door that she's singing to herself. So I couldn't hear her singing. I said to myself, okay, I'm going to go down, wait a few minutes, and then I'll go up. I went up again, she's still singing. I went down again. So we'll wait here for a few minutes and then I'll go up. So the Rav Shach said, I don't understand, this is your own house. She's supposed to restart singing. You're not supposed to start thinking when she's going to start singing. Rav Meltzer said, no, I wouldn't do that. You know, to mistreat an almana, a widow woman, is one of the mitzvot that we have in our Torah. If this singing make her feel so good, she expresses her, I don't know, happiness or whatever by singing, who should be me? Who am I to stop her singing? Let her sing, I don't care. I'll wait until she's done and then I'll go upstairs. A nice thinking of a rabbi, a very prominent rabbi. So we're not talking about just rabbis and their big, important midot. We're talking about each and every one of us. You have a friend that is sick. She needs some encouragement. You know, why not calling her? Why not offering her help? Because that's what's needed. Not only in bad days or hard days or tough days, also in good days. A friend of yours, she married off her son. Somebody moved to a new house. She got a new car. Why not calling her and congratulate her and say, "Yo, kol hakavod, I'm so happy for you," and whatever. Yes, so this is what's needed. That's what Hashem wants from us. Another mitzvah that we learn from this Torah, from this parsha. When a woman, it speaks about a maid, but from here we learn all the laws between husband and wife. She'era, ksuta, ve'onata, lo tigra. Okay, when you have a maid at home, the master of the house is supposed to provide her all her needs, whether it's food, whether it's clothing, whether even her sexual needs. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we speak about husband and wife. From here they learned, how a man's supposed to treat his wife. Listen, don't take it for granted. About 100 years ago, in England, we're talking about England, we're not talking about a third world country. We're talking about England. England, 100 years ago, was a big empire that ruled over many places in the Far East. Okay, Ireland, some places in South America, even the Middle East. Okay, it's ruled over many countries. A typical man in England could whip his wife. It was allowed. A woman didn't have rights. If she would if she would have her own money and she would like to inherit something to her children, the kids don't have to listen to her. Because who are you? We don't have, financially, they don't have to obey her wishes, her request or anything. Women didn't have rights. I'm talking about England. Even here in America, when did the feminism started or became, in the late 60s or 70s? Why? Because women didn't have rights. Okay, the Torah was given to us more than 3,000 years ago, and already back then it speaks about the rights of a woman. Her food, or some say money. Okay, clothing, and you know how much clothing woman has as opposed to men, and men needs to provide her needs. Woman needs accessories, women needs all kind of colors, all kind of stuff and whatever. It's a man's obligation to provide her with that. And sexual needs, hello, we're talking about so many years ago. Is the Torah old-fashioned or what? Where do you see that a man is supposed to provide sexual needs to his wife? Usually it's the woman that needs to provide sexual needs to her husband or something, no? See how the Torah looks at it. So there was a couple, okay, speaking about Shlom Bayit, there was a couple that got along pretty well. They didn't have any problems with Shlom Bayit or anything. And one time it happened that the husband decided that he appreciated his wife very much, and he bought her a beautiful gift. He bought her a gold ring, beautiful gold ring. He gave it to her. He even added a note that he's so grateful to her. She's perfect. She's so good. She's this. She's that. He praised her. Everything was nice. The woman was so happy to get this present, and she put it somewhere because it was already Friday, and she wanted to start working for Shabbat. Friday afternoon, she realized that the ring disappeared. She doesn't know where it is. She's looking and looking, and she sent her kids to look here and there and everywhere. And she asked her husband, maybe you saw it? And the husband got so upset. Hello? I'm buying you this gift and you're not even caring? And the first day already you're losing it? He started to tease her, he started to rebuke her, he started to have so much complaints about her. And he's saying all kind of stuff, and he's saying, now the kids are not used to it because there was always shalom bayit between them. One of the kids couldn't stand it. It was too much for him. He couldn't stand the fact that the father screams at the mother. So he decided that he does something. He was a teenager. He thought that he's smart. So he remembered which store the father bought this ring from. He ran quickly to the store, and he asked the man, "Do you remember what my father bought here?" He said, "Yes, of course. Do you have another one exactly like that?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Can I take it from you? I'll pay it to you right after Shabbat." He said, "Okay." He gave it to him. The kid came and he put it on in a place that you could definitely see that it's there, on top of one of the furniture or something. And then the father saw it. The old father noticed it. And his face, and he changed completely. He started praising his wife again. He said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. He started to apologize and ask for forgiveness. I thought this about you. I said that about you." And the shalom came back to the house. So, one of the rabbis used to say, this happened because the kids were not really used to those fights and arguments and yells in the house. So he decided that he does something. So how important it is to have peace in the house. Another mitzvah there is here, not whoever injures them intentionally or hits them, okay, Hashem is very upset at him. I want to tell you, I read this story about honoring parents, which is so interesting, so nice. So this rabbi, he says that he always prays nets. Nets, you pray when the time of dawn. So he got up one early morning. It's still dark and outside. Okay? He got up to go to shul. So as he goes to the shul, he has to go through kind of a park. On a bench there, he saw a couple sitting. So upset, he didn't know the couple, so he continued on. But then they saw him, and then they raised and started to go towards him. First second he got scared, who were these people? And then he realized his daughter and her husband just got married recently. They have an apartment just next to them, a small, one-room apartment next to them. And he asked them, "What happened?" She said, "I'm so sorry, we went for a walk last night, a short walk last night, and then we realized it's already almost midnight, so we decided to come back home. But the door, as we left the house, slammed behind us, and we got stuck, and we don't have the key. There is an extra key in your apartment, in your house. We don't have it. So because it was already late, it was already sunset, not sunset, because it was already midnight, we were scared that we might knock in your apartment, we might wake you up, so we decided to stay outside." He said, I would willingly give you the key. Why did you hesitate? You didn't have to stay outside the whole night. He said, no, but we learned the laws of Kibbud Horim, honoring parents, and so beautiful, kids that were considering their parents and were thinking what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. What happens if you have to give a loan? כתוב, אם כסף תלווה את עמי, לא תהיה לו כנושה. Don't pressure him, don't press on him and ask for the payment. Come on. Because don't embarrass him if he doesn't have the money to give you. Look at this amazing story. About 25 years ago, a guy by the name Moshe, He was just 32 at that time, felt dizzy, felt not good, he doesn't have energy to do anything, he doesn't have any strength. So he went for some checkups. Doctor referred him to some blood work and some other things, and when the results came back, he said, I'm sorry, you have a problem, your kidneys, there's some kind of a tumor, we have to operate you, this and that, whatever, come quickly and we'll take care of you. For this, he had to send him to LA to do an operation there. He doesn't have money, he's a avrech, he learns in the kollel. How can he pay this amount of money now? So meanwhile, his family start to fundraise money for him to see what they could do. Maybe they could get some money from people, maybe, you know. So they found this, they went to this guy by the name of Anshel, a guy that lived in LA. And after he already landed there, this is when they approached him. He was a very wealthy man, and they asked him if he could help and pay, you know, some of the amount of this operation, or any amount that he can. Now this Rab Anshel was thinking and thinking. Yeah, he had some business transaction to do, but then he said to himself, but this is a mitzvah, it's very important, people nefesh, this and that, nishmat. Let me help him with the whole amount. So it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. He said, I'm going to pay with the whole amount. They were so shocked. Really? Yeah, really? Can you really do that? And they were so thankful. And so Baruch Hashem was able to get into the operation. They treated him. He was there in the hospital for more than 3 months. After he came out from the hospital, weak and exhausted, okay, he decided that he wants, Hanukkah was approaching, he said, I'm going to buy some kind of a gift to this, my benefactor, the guy that paid me for the whole operation. He went to this silverware store and he bought him a beautiful menorah. He added a note to it and he said, wrote there, you saved my life, thank you so much, whatever he wrote. He knocked on his door, but he wasn't there. He made a few phone calls. He realized he's in New York, and he's in his office in New York. He's not there anymore. He's going to be in Hanukkah in New York. So Chaval, he wanted to give it to him personally, but now he had no choice, and he decided to go to send it to him by this, how you call this?
Yes.
Huh?
UPS.
Like UPS. It's not exactly UPS. It's a company that will bring it to him personally, yeah? So, fine. He sent it through them.
Amazon.
Two guys are coming. Jewish Amazon, let's say. 2 guys are coming. Knock on his office. No answer. Knock, no answer. And then they opened the door, came in. They came in, they saw a man on the floor, like passed out or something. Now, these 2 people, apparently, somehow, b'hashgacha pratit, were Hatzalah people. They saw a problem, right away they started to take care of him. He had a severe attack, a heart attack at that moment. He was alone, no one was there. They started to revive him, they started to, I don't know, to restore back his pulse and his breath and his whatever. And Baruch Hashem, he came back to himself, like nothing happened. He was sitting down and he's like, who are you and where did you come from? You're like angels. Who sent you here? And they took out this note that Moshe wrote him and he said, thank you so much for saving my life and I so appreciate it. And this Reb Anshel is thinking, who saved whose life exactly? So when you give money to someone, do you really save his life or maybe you save your own life, right? Amazing, such a story with Hashgacha Pratit. I read Harav Zilberstein. Harav Zilberstein Shlita, he said, a very strong story. He said, there is a family in Israel that, a very important family. Half of the family are very wealthy people, rich people that support Torah, and the other half are teaching Torah, big rabbis, prominent rabbis. So once the grandson of this family, or one of the grandsons, he told once why they became such a very important family. He said, my grandfather was a very big contractor in Yerushalayim many years ago. And it happens, he said, that sometimes, somebody owes money, and especially big merchants or big businessmen owes money, cannot pay those debts, and then they go to Chapter 11, they go to bankruptcy. So when bankruptcy happens, sometimes you don't have the cash to pay, so a truck, there's an executioner office that come and collects all the valuables that you have at home. So they come to the house, apparently, and they pick up all whatever is in the house, furniture, electronics, any device that you have at home, any valuables, jewelry. They wipe out, they clean the whole house. They leave it empty, nothing is there. They take everything, and in that case, they took it to next to the police station in Machne Yehuda in Yerushalayim, and they sell it cheap. They sell it to whoever wants to come and buy it. Once my grandfather said, wasn't this guy? He was witness to this kind of a thing. He was walking by the police station, and then he saw a huge truck comes, and there's a lot of stuff inside. He looks inside, he picks inside, and he sees very familiar furniture. He sees very familiar electronics, and he knew exactly who they took it from. One of his colleagues, another contractor that lost his money, business or whatever, and now all his things are for sale now. He's thinking to himself how devastated these friends of his might feel that now there's nothing in the house and people are coming to buy all his belongings now. Now, in that place, they had some very strong and tough people that always came to buy these valuables in cheap price. They made sure that no one raised the price, no one will buy it in a higher price because they want to take it all to themselves and make profits from this. This is what they were intended to do this time too. But this guy's grandfather, the contractor, he saw it and he didn't want these valuables to be sold to these people. So he made a bid and he signed his name that he wants to be one of the buyers. And now they have to make bids. So he bid very high price. And those people are looking at him and staring at him in a very threatening eyesight. So I looks at him like, how dare you? And he is not scared. And he continued giving, and they raise the price. So he raises the price so much more, and they raise the price, and he raises it so much more, until it wasn't any profitable for them to buy this anymore in this price. So he won the bid, and he took everything. Now he went to the driver and he told him, listen, I'm going to pay you separately. Take all whatever, take the same whatever you have in the they didn't took it, unloaded it. Yeah, he said, take it everything to the place that you took it from. So finally he paid him, and he went back to the place that to the house of this contractor. The contractor was shocked when he saw everything. The driver said, one person bought it and he asked me to give it back to you. Who is this person? He gave him the description. He understood who it was. He went back to him. He cried so much. He wiped next to him and he said, thank you for doing this chesed for me. He said, you don't understand. Once those people came and they took everything from the house, my wife said, if there's nothing here, I'm leaving. And my kid said, if the house is empty, how can we live here? And they threatened to leave me too. All my life is now on the stake. What should I do now? He felt so bad that he felt that, God forbid, he's going to do something bad to himself. You saved my life, he said, spiritually, mentally, and financially. Thank you so much. See, when somebody does something good, Hashem paid him then with all the blessing. all the family are rich people, wealthy, that support Torah, that teach Torah, that do good things. Why? Because he was thinking about the other one before he falls, a second before he falls. And that's what Hashem wants from us, to think about the other one a second before this happens. So another thing it says midvar sheker tilchak, distance yourself from lying, from saying lies. Such a beautiful story that I saw from the time of the Hanodah Yehuda. Hanodah Yehuda was a Rav Yecheskel Landau. He lived about 250 years ago in Prague. Okay. Once there was this wine merchant. Let's say his name is Isaac, and he produced a lot of wine, very high quality wine, and wanted to deliver it to Prague. Fine. Another man by the name Aaron saw that he's planning to go to Prague, so he asked him, can I join your, because you hired a wagon, you hired a coachman, you're taking 12 barrels of wine with you, can I join you, and if you want I can pay for you to you. He said, no problem, come with me. So he was so happy. He had to get to Prague too. He goes there, and he had a big amount of cash with him. He wanted to do some business in Prague. Now, when night fell, he was scared to have all this cash with him. So once he saw that this Isaac, the wine merchant, fell asleep, he went, and the coachman was outside taking care of the horses. He went inside the barrels. He opened one of the barrels, and he saw there's some kind of empty place there, and he put the money inside, and he closed it back, and he went to sleep. He thought no one saw him, but the wine merchant did see him, because he was caring about his wine. He said, what exactly he did there? He went to see what he did after he went to sleep, and went to check on what he did there. He saw he put such a big amount of money. He took it all and put it in his own pocket. It took them several days until they got to Prague. And when they got to Prague, this Aaron sneaked back again into this barrel of wine. He wanted to take from there, his sack of money. It's not there. What should he do now? He went to check all over. Nothing is there. He made a sign. He knew exactly where it was. So he understood what happened. And he turned to Isaac, to the wine merchant, and told him, please, I beg you, have mercy on me. I need this money. Can you return it to me? He said, what are you talking about? Which money? Please. He said, how you dare? I made you a favor. I took you. I gave you a ride, and now you accuse me that I stole your money? So they decided to go to the Hanodah Yehuda, to this rabbi, Rav Yecheskel Landau. They came to him, and they tell him their claims. The rabbi somehow understood that the wine merchant is the one that stole the money. But he doesn't have evidence. He doesn't have any proof. He cannot do anything about this. He said, are you sure you don't have any evidence? I don't have any proof that he stole from me. But Rabbi, can you do something? So the rabbi was thinking, and he said to him, to the wine merchant, wait a second. If you didn't steal money, and he lost the money, he knows that I believe him that he put the money over there. But you claim that you didn't take the money. So who took the money? Maybe the coachman took the money. The coachman wasn't Jewish. Maybe he took the money. So he liked this solution. He said, yeah, probably it's him. It's he that took the money. If so, said the rabbi, he probably didn't touch only one barrel to check, where's the money. He probably touched all the barrels. He opened the barrels. All your wine is now Yain Nesach. I have to make an announcement that no Jew can buy from your wine because your wine is Yain Nesach. He went to the rabbi. He said, Rabbi, I have a secret to tell you. Can I tell it to you privately? He said, yeah, of course. What is this? He says, it's me. It's I that stole the money. Please. He had a 20,000 value of wine. For this 2,000 that he stole from him, he doesn't want to lose this. So he told him, I stole it. It's not the coachman, it's me. The rabbi said, why should I believe you? Why should I trust you? It's worthy for you now, to lie. Why should I trust you now? He said, please, Rabbi, believe me, it's me. Why should I do this? Oh. So the rabbi said, only if you're going to announce in public, not secretly, announce in public that you are the one that stole the money and you're going to return this to him, then that's what happened. Sometimes, with crooked people, this is how you're supposed to outsmart them back so that they won't do this crazy stuff. And then I'm coming to the last thing that it says, you're on the highway. You see your friend's car, let's say, not your friends, the one that you hate. This lady, she always tries to find favor, next to your boss. And she degrades you to, elevate her or to raise her, or she's on your nerves. She always tells on you. She's this and that. You can't stand her. You hate her. And she's one stuck on the highway. Are you supposed to help her or ignore her? So the rabbi says, in the Torah says, it's not only you're supposed to help your friend as opposed to the one that you hate. You're supposed to pay to help the one that you hate. To this woman that, and he says, why? Because see how the Torah works on us psychologically. The Torah wants us to be friends again, to work on our relationship, to work on our personality, to work on our qualities. Okay? What happens once you're on the highway and you see this person? You come to her and you say, what's the problem here? She says, I'm stuck, blah, blah, blah. And you tell her, you know something, you hold here, I'll open here, I'll do this, or that. By the way, they start talking. They don't even realize. And in the end of that thing, they can become even friends. She didn't realize her. She didn't pay attention to her. She didn't care about her. Now she says, oh, she's a good person, or she knows what she's talking about, or she's really caring, or she's this. And this can change both of them, not only one of them, both of them it can change. So it says, כמים הפנים הפניים כן לב האדם לאדם. If you look at the water, see the reflection, what do you see? If you make a sour face, so the person in the ear is going to make you sour face too. But if you make a smiley face, so she's going to grin to you too, right? So if you have hatred towards your friend, she feels it and she acts to you the same way. But if you instead don't rebuke her, don't judge her, okay? If you don't give her all kind of advices, constructive advices, how to help the situation, don't give her all kind of solutions, don't blame her and stuff. Instead, you're listening, just listening to her. You have an open ear to listen. You hear what she says and you accept what she says. Okay, this is when you can have a lot of love and compassion, because love and compassion means that you judge her favorably, you look at the positive points of her, not at the negative. When you come this way to the one that you don't like, it brings so much relief. It eases your relationship, and you can start your relationship all from the beginning. בעל המגלה עמוקות was Rav Natan Neta Shapira. He lived a while ago, 400 years ago or something. He says something interesting. He says, why is the Eved, the Eved that comes to work in your house is called Eved Ivri? What is Eved Ivri? Say Jewish, say, I don't know, something else. Why Eved Ivri? Who was the one that was called Ivri? Yosef. Why he was called Ivri? This is how they called him, What does this symbolize? Is the fact that we call the Eved Ivri. Who was the first one that was sold as a slave to the Egyptians? Yosef. All the reason that we came to Mitzrayim, we came to this galut of Egypt, is because of selling a brother. Yeah? We didn't treat him right. We sold such a fine, nice looking person, righteous person to the Egyptians. And he continues even on, and he says that it says in the parasha, Ki gnov ish shor. Shor is the symbol of Yosef. Okay, so how are we supposed to pay back and everything? It's so beautiful to see. I don't want to make it too long. So basically, the first name that Yosef was given is the Ivri, and the beginning of Galut Mitzrayim was happening because of him. Now, how we supposed to fix it? Once we're going to remember and know and work on our qualities, see how to treat how we should really treat a brother. Okay, this is when we are going to come out of Mitzrayim. This is when our tikkun in Mitzrayim is going to be fixed, is going to be finished, ending. And this is the reason that we came to Har Sinai. Because what is the reason of Har Sinai? Leave, Anochi Hashem Elokecha asher hotzeticha me'eretz Mitzrayim mibeit avadim, from the house of slavery. But for what? שעל ההר הזה תעבדו אותי על ההר הזה. You should worship me now instead of all your idol worshipping or whatever you believe in. Sometimes you believe that your boss will save you, your money will save you, your body will save you, your friends, your family, this. You know, if we rely on Hashem and we know that only He can help us, only He can provide us, only He can revive us, and we emulate Hashem's way of the quality of Hashem, this is when we really work on ourselves, when we combine mitzvot של בן אדם למקום with mitzvot של בן אדם לחברו. This is our dat Hashem, and that's what Hashem wants from us. Thank you so much. God bless you. Besarot tovot. May we have the merit to be redeemed soon from Avdut. Thank you so much.